The chute reared over, and it broke my back, my T12 and L1, paralyzing me from the waist down. Very humbling experience.
Braxton has 5 fused vertebrae, 2 rods, 8 screws, numbness in his right leg, and can't feel his left foot. But as he puts it, miracles happen. You're standing right now.
Yes, sir. They gave me a 5% chance to ever walk again.
Recovery is a long road.
It's definitely different, but I'm walking. I'll take every little inch and run with it.
Braxton Nielsen's inspiring journey redefines the expression getting back on the horse. Less than 2 years since his accident, he's now competing in calf roping. What's a buckle mean to a rodeo guy?
It's pretty sentimental, and this one in particular I won after my accident. It's a team rope and buckle, and kind of took the heartbreak off of bareback riding. I truly believe that hard work will never cheat you. Attitude is everything. It will take you places you never thought were possible.
With another Utah success story, I'm Doug Jessup, ABC4 News.
Incredible stuff. Thanks to Braxton and Doug for that amazing story. So to see an extended interview with Braxton, you can go to Jessup's Journal at abc4.com/journal. Now time to check in with Wesley Ruff, and isn't that just amazing what people are able to overcome in sports?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, in
That's why we love sports. So many great stories.
Exactly.
Super Bowl matchup is set. We'll tell you who's going and who's going home. And the Utah Jazz locked down their lockdown defender with a contract extension. Sports is coming up next.
Time now for ABC4 News Sports with Wesley Ruff.
After 266 regular season and playoff games this year, we are down to the final 2 teams in the NFL. The conference finals took place today in the NFC. It was top-seeded San Francisco 49ers hosting the Green Bay Packers. 49ers came in as the favorites in this one, and they did not disappoint. What a game it was for Niners running back Raheem Mostert. Opened the scoring in the first quarter with his 36-yard touchdown run. In the second quarter, he broke through again, this time from 9 yards out on the outside, 17-0. And then, right before the half, he did it again. 18 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first half for Mostert. San Francisco is up 27-0 at intermission. Second half, he did it again, this time from 22 yards out. 4 touchdowns for Mostert. He rushed for 220 yards. This one was never in doubt. 49ers win at 37-20. They're headed to the Super Bowl for the 7th time. In the AFC title game, Kansas City hosting Tennessee. The Chiefs played in 2 of the first 4 Super Bowls, but haven't been back since. The Titans took the lead early in this one. Henry out of the Wildcat formation. Then Tannehill with a pass to his tackle on the tackle-eligible play. That made it 17-7. But the Chiefs come storming back at home. Patrick Mahomes with the pass to Tyreek Hill. One of 2 touchdown passes on the day to Hill. And then Mahomes with a big run here. Scrambles, gets to the sideline, cuts it back, spins, gets into the end zone. A 24-yard touchdown run. The Chiefs flexing their muscles. Mahomes with his 3rd touchdown pass of the day. Big one to Sammy Watkins. Chiefs come from 10 points down twice to win it. 35-24. They're headed to their first Super Bowl in 50 years. And former BYU player, now Chiefs head coach Andy Reid is excited.
Getting behind like this, tough on an old guy, but they did a nice job coming back. Fired up to go to Miami. Need to get on a diet so I can fit in my clothes so we can go do our thing. But very proud of everybody and the job that they did.
Super Bowl XIV, that's 54, coming up in Miami on February 2nd. San Francisco 49ers against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs have been installed as the early favorite. Royce O'Neal was an undrafted free agent who has worked his way into the starting lineup for the Utah Jazz. And today, the Jazz opened their wallets, showed him how much he means to them. O'Neal signed a contract extension, a reported 4-year deal worth $36 million. O'Neal would have been a restricted free agent at the end of this season. And now the Jazz have locked down their lockdown defender. And O'Neal helped the Jazz to win another one last night, but it was the other players who played really well. Rudy Gobert, 28 points, 15 rebounds, couple of massive dunks. Donovan Mitchell, 22 points. Jordan Clarkson, 20. Bojan Bogdanovic led all scorers with 30. He had 6 3-pointers as the Jazz beat the Kings 123-101. And it marked the return of point guard Mike Conley to the lineup. He only scored 3 points, but it was good to see him back on the floor.
For me, it was like, I'm not going to be the one coming here and mess up all this stuff we've got going. So make sure we move that ball, and that's what we did, and that's just what we do. We find guys open, and we make the unselfish play.
It's great to have him back, man. He's obviously, he played 15 minutes, but he was out there. First pass, first play was a nice pass to Tony. Like you see, hasn't missed a beat. The biggest thing I noticed, is just his competitiveness on the defensive end. Obviously, he didn't really shoot the ball too much, but he competed. And that's great to see him back. We're able to see him out there, and we'll get him back in the rhythm. And I'm glad to have him back.
He's huge for us. Just his leadership, being on the court, even he's not rushing anything. There's a lot of guys when they come back from injury, they're trying to get back their rhythm, hitting the shots. He's just being there and trying to involve all of us and be patient. So it's big time for us to have him back.
In college hoops, the Utah State Aggies did something that seems impossible. They lost a game after being up by 18 points with about 4 minutes to play, and after being up by 5 with 8 seconds remaining. The Aggies seemed to be on cruise control last night in Boise against the Broncos. Sam Merrill hit this shot, an 18-point lead. But Boise State came roaring back. They were scoring seemingly at will. The dunk here, then no defense on this play, led to another dunk. Utah State was still up 5. Time running out. Boise State with a 3-pointer. Boom, that cuts the lead to 2. The Aggies inbound. It's stolen. Boise State scores. They tie the game at 75. 5 points in just over 4 seconds. Incredible. Then in the overtime, the Broncos just dominated. The Aggies could only watch in stunned amazement as they blew a lead and lost at 88-83 in overtime. The Aggie season is quickly unraveling. On the links, final round of the American Express, Andrew Landry with the long putt here. He was hanging around the top of the leaderboard all day long. Abraham Answer tied him, but Landry made this birdie putt on 17 to take the lead. And then, just to finish in style, Landry rolled in this birdie on 18, finished at 26 under par. He won by 2. That is his second victory on the tour. And Tony Finau took a double bogey on number 5, hit drive in the water, dropped, hit his next shot in the water. He finished in the tie for 14th.
Apparently, even the pros make mistakes. All right, we'll be right back.
In the weather world, we're going to give you a quick check on what to expect as we look at the next 6 to 10 days. Precipitation-wise, we are going to be dealing with above average precip, but just slightly above average in the north, more so in central and southern Utah. Here's a check on what to expect for your holiday. Temperatures getting into the low 40s, mostly cloudy for MLK Junior Day. So there you go. Enjoy it if you have it off.
We'll be right back. Just wrapping up the newscast here. I want to thank you so much for spending your Sunday night with us.
And wish you a happy National Popcorn Day. Wesley Rev, happy Popcorn Day.
Thanks. Our fans tell us we remind them of popcorn because we have burst of energy, we explode on the scene, and we're hard to put down. Plus, sometimes Dana is slathered in butter. But that's another story. Grab your favorite snack, be it popcorn or whatever, because it's time for Real Sports Live. Let's do this.
Time now for News 4 Utah's Real Sports Live.
Tonight on Real Sports Live, Mike Conley is back, Royce O'Neal isn't going anywhere, and the Jazz are on an absolute tear. Can they keep it going as the schedule gets tougher? How in the world did Utah State lose to Boise State, and how will this collapse affect their NCAA tournament hopes? BYU gave the #1 team in the nation a game for a little while. How badly do the Cougars need Yoli Childs back? Super Bowl 54 is all set. The Chiefs, the 49ers. Which local player will have the biggest impact? And we'll meet a Utah State basketball player who's also preparing for med school. Oh, doctor, what a show we have tonight. It's Real Sports Live, and it starts right now.
Hey everybody, welcome to Real Sports Live. I'm Wesley Rupp. This is Dana Green. Super Sunday isn't for another couple of weeks, but it's always a Super Sunday when it comes to Real Sports Live.
Oh yeah, we're going to give you our Super Bowl picks in a bit. He's going to be wrong, I'm going to be right. But first, it's been a super season so far for the Utah Jazz, and the Jazz pretty much back at full strength now. Mike Conley returned to action after missing 14 games with a hamstring injury. More on him in a minute. But first, let's take a look back at another good week for the Jazz. On Tuesday, Joe Ingles tied a career high with 27 points. Jazz made it 10 straight wins with a 118-107 win over the Nets. But the win streak came to an end 2 days later in New Orleans. What a wild finish. Brandon Ingram scored 49, hit the go-ahead bucket with 0.2 seconds left. Rudy Gobert gets fouled on the inbounds lob. Maybe a generous call by the refs. Gobert hit one free throw to send it to overtime, where the Pelicans took over, ending the Jazz' longest win streak in 2 years. But then, last night, Conley was finally back on the court. He came off the bench in the Jazz blowout win over Sacramento. 4 Jazz players went over the 20-point mark. Bojan Bogdanovic with 30, Rudy Gobert 28, Donovan Mitchell had 22, Jordan Clarkson had 20. The Jazz have now won 16 of 18. Wes, first off, should the Jazz keep bringing Conley off the bench, or will he eventually regain a starting spot?
That's a trick question. Eventually, he will regain his starting spot, but I would keep him on the bench.
You would?
I would. We talked about this before. I think he needs to earn his way back into the starting lineup. And the Jazz are playing really, really well right now, and I don't know why you want to mess up that chemistry.
Yeah, but he's not in game shape. He only played 15 minutes, but when he's able to play 30 mintes, you would still bring him off the bench.
I would, because they didn't win 10 in a row when he was playing.
True.
I mean, he's a great player, and he was the highest paid player in the NBA for a hot minute a couple of years ago.
$30 million.
And I know you're not paying him to sit on the bench, but coaches get paid to win.
Right.
And you're going to put the best players on the court at any given time to try to win the ball game. And the Jazz have been winning. I don't know why you want to mess up that chemistry. And I'm not saying that Mike Conley needs to ride the bench, and he'll eventually be back in the starting lineup, because you can't keep. He's too good.
Right.
He's too good, and what he brings to the team in leadership and in defense. But right now, I'd go with what you got.
Well, so if they lose a couple, then you start him and mix it up?
Yeah.
I don't know. The guy, I guess, I think who's going to go to the bench eventually is this guy, Royce O'Neal, who just signed a 4-year, $36 million deal. Royce O'Neal's the guy who makes his living on the defensive side of the ball. That's why the Jazz love him so much.
But he turned into a great three-point shooter.
Pretty good for me. He doesn't take a lot of attempts there, but the Jazz just have a knack of finding these gems. Wesley Matthews, Paul Millsap, Royce O'Neal. I mean, they made these guys a lot of money when they were overlooked by almost every other team. But this Jazz team is playing so well right now. To have 4 guys score over 20 points, and they have legitimately 6 guys that could score over 20 if you add Ingles, who has been doing that, and Mike Conley when he becomes the starter again. I think you're right. You don't do it right away, but I would think in a week, maybe a week and a half, 10 days, he will be back in the starting lineup. I don't think there's any question about it.
I don't know if I'll be interested to see if it's O'Neal that goes to the bench in that starting lineup, or if it's Joe Ingles, because at the start of the season, Ingles was the guy coming off the bench.
But Joe Ingles is playing the best basketball of his life right now.
I like Ingles handling the basketball. When Conley was out, I liked when Ingles would handle the basketball as opposed to Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
And he was the facilitator, and he's got such a chemistry right now with Rudy Gobert. That pick and roll that they run is just, I mean, who do you guard?
Right.
Do you guard Ingles? Do you guard Gobert? Either one of them can score, and this team often do.
And this team really is the best three-point shooting team in the league, mainly because you can't focus on one guy. I mean, you try to double Donovan Mitchell, Bojan Bogdanovic. That's why Joe Ingles is still, even though he's shooting around 45%, I think the last 10 games he's shooting over 50% from 3. Ingles is still getting open looks. Guys are going under screens because they're not going to double up.
Why are you not guarding him?
Yeah, exactly. But they're picking their poison. And right now their poison is Joe Ingles, and he's making them hurt.
It's been fun to watch.
Yeah.
This is a fun team to watch right now when they're hitting on all cylinders like they have been for the last
Schedule gets tougher, though. Indiana, then you got Dallas a couple times, Houston a couple times. We're going to see what the Jazz are made of in these next couple of weeks.
Let's see if Conley comes back to the lineup. All right, turning now to college hoops. BYU hopes to get Yoli Childs back soon. Without him, the Cougars beat San Diego, then lost to top-ranked Gonzaga this past week. BYU's leading scoring rebounder has now missed 4 straight games. Cougars dismantled the Toreros on Thursday at home. Kobe Lee made all 8 of his shots, finished with a career-high 21 points in a 93-70 victory. But then last night against the #1 team in the nation, BYU gave Gonzaga a game for a little while. They were down by just 4 early in the second half, but then the Bulldogs ran away for a 92-69 victory. TJ Haas, 17 points in the game. Jake Toulson added 16, but Gonzaga had 5 players in double figures. This team is so well balanced and plays so well together. So, Dana, do the Cougars still have a chance at an at-large bid to the Big Dance?
Well, I heard this from Joe Lunardi, Mr. Bracketology, knows the NCAA committee. He says that the committee really takes into account the games that the teams play at full strength. And when Yoli Childs has been in the game, BYU's lost 1 game, and that's because he got injured against Utah. And granted, you can't just lose every game and then win every game.
Because they were up big when he was in that game.
They were up big. I think they were on the road to victory before he got injured. So I think it's good for the Cougars right now that they're learning how to play without Yoli Childs, but now it's time to get him back. They can't afford any more slip-ups. They can't. Like this week, they play Pacific, USF. If they want an at-large bid, they got to win these games, and they got to beat St. Mary's when they come here, and maybe even they have to beat Gonzaga. I just don't see them beating Gonzaga in the West Coast Conference tournament.
In 2017, BYU went to Spokane and beat an undefeated Gonzaga team that was ranked #1 in the country. They were hoping history would repeat itself. It did not. And so many things have to go right for BYU to beat a team like Gonzaga. I mean, Coach Mark Pope, before the game, said that Gonzaga is so good. They are so good that they can play badly and still win.
Right.
And they have so many weapons, and they showed it last night. But BYU has to be almost perfect in all aspects of the game because they don't have athletes who can fly over people and dunk and score at will and create their own shots. They have to execute, and when they don't do that, then they struggle.
What are you talking about? Colby Lee was 8 for 8 against San Diego. He was a scoring machine. Who knew? Colby Lee, 21 points.
We have Colby.
Exactly. And, I really like that TJ Haas, when Childs is out, has really become more of a scorer. We thought this was going to happen last week when we knew Childs was going to miss a few more games. And TJ, he can do it all. And the 4 games that Childs has been out, he's averaging about 20 points a game, or roughly around there. And he's a guy who could really fill it up. And
I like how he distributes the basketball.
Yes, that's his first priority, no doubt about it.
And Jake Toulson is another. When he came back to BYU, he's helped. He's given them that third score that we thought Zach Zelius might be, or Connor Harding. And those guys have stepped up on occasion.
Just not consistently.
But Toulson has been pretty consistent this year. He's had some games where he's disappeared.
But they need that marquee win. Like, they got to beat the St. Mary's. They got to beat, Gonzaga, maybe their last chance at one. But there's still a chance. I think if Yoli comes back and they keep winning, there's a chance they're not large. All right, I don't think I've seen anything like this, Wes. Utah State was up by 19 points with 6 minutes left. They were up 18 with 3.5 to play, and they lost to Boise State in overtime. You had to see it to believe it. Sam Merrill went off for the Aggies. He scored a season-high 30 points. Utah State was in total command in a game they really needed to win before the roof just caved in the final minutes. After Nimi Keita fouled out, the Broncos went on a 27-9 run in the final 3.5 minutes. Aggies were still up 5, 8 seconds left when Ray J. Dennis hit a 3-pointer. All right, they're still up 2, but then Justinian Jessup steals the inbounds pass, lays it in with 1 second left. If that was a movie, I wouldn't have believed it. Just a monumental collapse. Boise State had all the momentum going in overtime, and they won it 88-83. Wes, I couldn't believe it. Can you?
No. I saw it, and I couldn't believe it. I've owned patio furniture that didn't fold like that.
Oh, wow.
That was just, it was unbelievable.
They panicked.
So we had a lot of games going on last night. I mean, the Jazz were playing BYU, Utah State all playing, so I'm keeping an eye on all of them. Cut the highlights early in the second half because Utah State was up, right? They're up by 18. We've got all the highlights we need, and then I'm working on other stuff, and I look over, and it's 5 points, 8 seconds to go. They're still going to win. I'm typing some stuff. I look back, and they're in overtime. Like, are you kidding me? How?
Because they had 5 turnovers in the last few minutes.
A bunch of them off inbounds plays.
Off inbounds. And what's so shocking is this is an experienced team. I mean, Brock Miller, Sam Merrill, Diogo Brito, those are the guys that were committing the turnovers. I was shocked. I mean, this is a team that's been through the ringer. They have leaders. They have guys to calm things down when things get a little hectic, and they weren't able to do it. I mean, Craig Smith tried to call a couple of timeouts. Everything went, and Boise State made everything.
Yes,
they scored 27 points in 3.5 minutes. That'll never happen again.
And 5 points in about 4 seconds.
Yeah, and 8 seconds. Crazy.
Well, actually 4 seconds because it was 8 seconds and they brought the ball down and he let it go with about 4 seconds.
Right.
Yeah, and Sam Merrill had a good game, and it was good to see him finally get back on track, but it all went for naught. And this is a season for Utah State that is just dismantling quickly. I mean, I thought
such high hopes.
I saw this on Twitter. I thought the exact same thing. I thought Utah State hit rock bottom when they lost to Air Force.
Right. No. And it'll be interesting to see how this team responds. I mean, it's good that they're home. They got 2 home games, a revenge game against Air Force and then Colorado State. But this is also a type of loss that's so devastating. Maybe it lingers for the next couple of games.
I mean, the announcers, you listen to the game.
They start rooting for Boise State because they wanted to see this incredible comeback.
Said, oh, yeah, Utah State's got this one
right. Oh, no, they said it's over. They said it's over. It was not over.
As for the Running Utes, they lost 2 more Pac-12 games this past week, and Arizona and Arizona State, and they've now lost 4 straight games. Timmy Allen had 16 points Thursday night against the Wildcats, but Arizona too much firepower. Nico Mannion, the son of former Ute Pace Mannion, did a little bit of everything in an easy 93-77 victory. Then last night in Tempe, Utah got blown out again as Arizona State put up 54 points in the second half of that. That's Nico. He can play. 54 points in the second half. alone to run away with an 83-64 victory. The Utes are now 10-7 overall, but just 1-4 in the Pac-12 conference. They're struggling offensively and defensively right now. This young team is taking its lumps. Dana, can they climb out of this funk?
I don't know. Since that 5-point loss to Oregon, who was number 4 at the time, just 2 weeks ago, the Utes have lost by 39 to Colorado. They lost by 16 to Arizona, and they were down by 27 in the first half of that one. They lost by 19 to Arizona State. I mean, you can always count on a Larry Krystkowiak team's defense to hold up, and defense travels. That's the old expression. I mean, teams would usually go under their averages against their defenses, but to give up 91, 93, and 83 in the last 3, granted, all on the road, and they get to be home this week against Washington State. I don't know. This is a young team. They're taking their lumps, as you said. I think they're going to learn from this, but I don't think there were a lot of high hopes going into the year, but when they beat Kentucky and beat BYU, people are going, oh,
and now,
maybe this team can compete.
And now you look at it like, how did they beat Oregon State? Because Oregon State turned around and beat Colorado in Colorado.
Right.
So, yeah, it's difficult to put your finger on. But they're a young team, and there's growing pains. It takes a while to get used to each other and learn how to win and learn how to trust each other in those clutch situations. They hung with both teams for a hot minute, but then... Yeah, Arizona's good.
They're good.
They're
really good. They always lose games they shouldn't lose, and they get a lower seed.
And they just blasted Colorado, 20th ranked Colorado.
Yeah. And a lot of these Utes, they've never gone the rigors of a Pac-12 schedule. It's different when you're playing non-conference teams. And Arizona, I mean, these guys know. Sean Miller knows Larry Krystkowiak, and vice versa. But to go through a conference season is a little different. And there's a lot of freshmen on these teams that have not gone through this kind of experience, and it's only going to help them in the future.
And I want to talk briefly about Nico Mannion, son of Pace Mannion. He played at the University of Utah, played it for the Utah Jazz. This is the only time that Utah gets to play Arizona.
Right.
Arizona does not play in Salt Lake City this year,
come here,
so fans don't get to see Nico. But Nico is being talked about as a lottery pick, one of the top 15 draft picks in the NBA coming up this year. When he went to college, he said he was going to be one and done.
Right.
I watched him the last couple of games. He's solid. I don't see what they're seeing. I don't know that he is a top 15 player, but he's
potential. It's your favorite word. Yeah. You love it. All right, well, let the greatest hype machine in all of sports begin. Super Bowl 54 is now 2 weeks away, and it's going to be Kansas City against San Francisco. The Niners are headed back to the Super Bowl for the 7th time. Raheem Mostert ran all over the Green Bay Packers today. This guy rushed for over 100 yards one time this season. Today, he gashed the Packers for 220 yards and 4 touchdowns. It was 27-0 at the half. Niners held on for a 37-20 win. Former BYU linebacker Fred Warner had 6 tackles in the game, and this pass defended against Aaron Rodgers. Wes, let's talk about the Niners first. How good have they looked to you lately?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Garoppolo only had 8 passes today. That is just stunning, isn't it?
8 pass attempts.
And Mostert, I had him on my fantasy team this year.
Bobby
and I
dropped
cut him because he was awful. I thought he goes for 4 touchdowns in the championship game.
Tevin Coleman was their guy last week. He got hurt. It just shows that offensive line the Niners have is really, really good.
Yeah, and they were the #1 seed, so it's not surprising that they made it to the Super Bowl. But
if they hadn't beat Seattle in the final game, they would have been the 5 seed.
Yeah.
So there was not a lot of difference between 1 and 5. Yeah.
Yes.
You trust Garoppolo in the Super Bowl?
He's been to the Super Bowl
8 times.
He's been there twice.
Yeah.
His backups to Tom Brady, right?
That's true. With the Patriots.
Yeah,
I like their defense.
I like San Francisco.
But you know whose offense I like? The AFC Championship
Kansas
winner.
City. Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, they fell behind once again today to the Tennessee Titans, and once again went on an offensive tear that could not be stopped. Remember, they were down 24-0 to Houston last week and won.
Yep.
They were down 17-7 today and then reeled off 28 unanswered points. How good is Patrick Mahomes? Threw for 294 yards and 3 touchdowns, ran for 53 yards and a score in a 35-24 win. This is the Chiefs' first Super Bowl in 50 years. And you know what? BYU is going to be represented by safety Daniel Sorensen, who had 8 tackles for the Chiefs. He is a beast on the field. So, Wes, let's pick it. Who you got, Chiefs or Niners?
I'm going to root for the Chiefs because I like Andy Reid. Andy Reid was in college when I was down there.
Right.
And he
at BYU.
Coached at BYU as well for a little bit. And I like him. He's just one of the really good guys. I'd like to see him get a Super Bowl. He's been to the Super Bowl at Philadelphia. I'd like to see him get a win. I'm gonna root for. I like the San Francisco 49ers when Steve Young was the quarterback and when Alex Smith was the quarterback. I still kind of like them, but not like them.
Right.
So I'm rooting for Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm rooting for I mean, Patrick Mahomes, I know Lamar Jackson's going to win the NFL MVP this year, but Mahomes has been doing it for 2 years now, and he is the next generation of elite quarterback. Yeah. This guy can do it all, and they got so much speed on that team with Tyreek Hill and Nicole Hardman and Sammy Watkins, these guys, speed kills, and they can score like that.
I just wish we had more time to talk about the build-up to the Super Bowl. Because
2 weeks not long enough for you?
Just only 2 weeks.
Hey, you know what the best part of Super Bowl 54? Patriots aren't in it. That's the best part. All right, we got to take a quick break here on Real Sports Live.
Yeah, but coming up, we'll go inside the locker rooms and press conferences for another entertaining edition of Bites of the Week. But I couldn't remember what the other part he said. He said some cliche
I didn't
thing.
hear that. That's what he said. He was talking about the Patriots?
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you what. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Joe Ingles of the Utah Jazz is shooting threes at a 41% clip this season, and he's using that ability to help wildfire relief in Australia.
You know, Joe and his wife Renee are donating $500 for every pointer Joe makes from the beginning of the season to the All-Star break. So far, he's made 93, so that's $46,500 so
I went to
far.
Springville High School.
Ingles talked to the media on Saturday, and his comments kick off this week's edition of Bites of the Week.
It's harder than I think, harder than you think. Obviously just trying to find something that can make an impact without obviously going overboard or trying to do too much or not enough. So hoping there's some people with some spare cash that want to throw a couple extra dollars my way.
I'm a newspaper guy.
Did you click on the link and donate?
Hey, no,
takes like 20 seconds.
I got you.
Everything helps. But obviously I'm fortunate and glad that I'm in a position to be able to do something. I said it the other day, I think the hardest thing is not being there yourself, having my feet on the ground in Australia, and if I was being able to actually go and help, but having some close friends that have lost businesses and homes and stuff like that is pretty gut-wrenching to watch and see what they're going through now. So that's obviously not just them, it's a widespread of a lot of people, and the wildlife, animals, just the country in general. So we'll do as much as we can. We'll keep pushing it out there, and like I said, hopefully we can raise a lot of money. Rudy's been texting me every day about different links to donate to. Obviously Donovan, what he did with his shoe. But everyone's been obviously really supportive and trying to help. And like I said, the hardest part is obviously not being there. It's all you can really do from this far away is to donate and help raise the awareness and the money, and yeah, that's what we're obviously trying to do as a group, and obviously thankful that the Jazz have helped out as well.
Watching Rudy and Donovan up close, should those guys be all-stars, and why?
Oh, no question. You know what's going on right there with Don, but
Don?
Yeah, it's Don. But definitely, those guys. I mean, I don't see how you can leave them off. The way they've been playing, the way they've been leading this team to 10 straight wins, and up there in the top of the West, and there's so many things down the line you can talk about, but those guys deserve it.
Have Conley back.
Okay, that's fair. I was just trying to see if it worked, that's all.
He's going to go meet the ball above the rim and finish. So it changes your help as a ball screen defender, right? Guarding the role. And the same thing with Yoli Childs. And now you put Kobe Lee in exactly the same category because he gets it off so fast, you don't have time to recover. So he's not really dunking on you. And please, was he in here earlier? Please, nobody ask him to dunk the ball, right? He's gone away from that. Let's just keep him where he is, okay? His ball screen defense was a little bit lacking, his ball-first ball screen defense, so make sure and write that tomorrow. Be like, hey, he's good, but he got some work to do. Keep him humble for me. I'm an emotional human being, so there'll probably be some tears and screaming, and I hope to keep all my clothes on through the entire game. We'll see how that goes.
Please, Coach.
He was successful.
He was, okay.
Was successful.
Sometimes the jacket comes off,
in that
but
quest.
that's it.
So congratulations to Mark.
Way to go, Coach.
We have to step aside for a brief moment, but coming up, we'll meet a Utah State student athlete who's trying to balance basketball and pre-med. It's a sneak peek of Going Ag when we come back.
Hey everyone, it's Justin Wright Foreman from the Utah Jazz, and you're watching Real Sports Live. Hey everyone, it's Justin Wright Foreman from the Utah Jazz, and you're watching Real Sports Live.
Thanks, Justin Wright Foreman. Tomorrow, we'll drop another episode of our exclusive digital series, Going Ag, which follows Utah State athletic teams.
Yeah, the spotlight this week is on Aggies women's basketball player Emmy Harris, who's pretty sharp on the court and in the classroom, and is somehow balancing life between basketball and trying to get into medical school.
My name is Emmy Harris. I play basketball at Utah State University, and I am majoring in human biology.
Occipital condyles are going to set in there.
My GPA is 3.6. Right now I'm an undergrad and getting my prerequisites for medical school, and with that comes with a minor in chemistry. So after I graduate from here, I plan on going to medical school and getting to do 2 years of residency, and then going into dermatology.
One thing you don't see in this epidermis as you're looking at it is you don't
Ever since I was little, I just set out, I wanted to be a dermatologist. It just interested me, and I've stuck with it, and I really have a passion for it. So
8 wins it, 5 burpees for everybody else.
We have really good people that are students first. We have a high team GPA over 3.2.
I just literally love playing basketball and love being in the gym. I'm a very competitive person, so I just love to compete. I kind of am new to all year round, or whenever I was a freshman, all year round to playing basketball, because I played 3 different sports in high school, so I wasn't used to playing basketball all season round. So when I got here, it was kind of fun to experience that, because I never had done that before in my life. I have done an internship with a spine surgeon in Kentucky, and that was a really cool experience to be in the operating room and see that kind of surgery, and then done a couple of shadowing things and within like that hospitals.
However, you will not do well if you don't put forth a significant amount of effort. This class takes some work.
Having like a strict schedule with basketball and school helps me a lot, because it helps me stay on focus. I have class in the morning, then practice, and then I'll go home and study after that. And so that's one big thing for me. And then just being willing and passionate about it. If it's not something I love to do, then I won't be very interested in it. So it's something I'm really interested in, and I like learning about it. And if it's going to prepare me for my future, then I'm willing to do it and do whatever it takes to get it done.
Your skin type coloration, they're melanin, hemoglobin, and carotene. This is that one that we were talking to earlier, you said is different than keratin.
Probably a really lot to handle, but it keeps me busy, keeps me on my toes, and I love that. So I don't like sitting at home and not doing anything. So I haven't done as good as I hope this year, but I'm still working on that, and we still have a whole season left. So there's a lot of time for improvement, and just keep competing every competition that we have. So, and it's so fun getting to travel. I've been to so many different states, and been to states that I never thought I would be in. So.
What about someone who's very yellow? I already told you my son was orange at one point, right? What if someone's got a real yellow coloration to them? Like white?
Organic chemistry was my first C in college that I hated, but it was a first semester and second semester. So first semester I got a C, and it was my first C I've ever gotten my whole life, and I was really upset about it. But at the same time, I had to realize I was doing basketball and school and traveling, and it was one of my first hardest classes, and that's one of the most failed classes at the universities.
Right there, that is your coronal suture. This bone is called your frontal bone. Of course, the front bone in front. This bone is called, these bones are called your parietal bones.
So the next semester I just made sure to stay on top of things, and after class go over and use my resources, get a tutor, and do everything that I could just to make sure I didn't get that same grade. Well, it's what I love to do. Like, a lot of people like going to school, they think about school all the time, but my mind's just, so I'm thinking about basketball. I have to kind of make a switch, like whenever I need to do school stuff, that my mind needs to go to school stuff instead of basketball stuff. We just have to make each other better, and we have to like realize that even if we're fouling each other and we're going hard after each other, it just makes each one of us better. So like, we can't always be soft, and like, yes, like there's times when there's not, or to not be as hard on each other, but in drills like that, we just got to realize we're making each other better, and to be strong with the ball and stuff like that. So
I'm going to pass these around, pass them around the classroom and have a look at them. But those are actual, real ear ossicles. Just
make sure you stay on top of things and just not to give up, because I know you'll go through adversity in life, everyone does, and I know there'll be hard times, but you just got to push through those, and definitely staying, like I said, staying on top of things, because as a athlete and a junior now, I'm kind of freaking out with getting prepared for medical school and taking the MCAT. So if you just prepare yourself and start at a younger age and start doing more internships, more job shadowing, start preparing for the MCAT more, then you'll be totally prepared for what you want to do in the future. Go Aggies!
What an impressive young woman there. It's hard enough to play a sport in college, but to be pre-med and a 3.6 GPA, that's crazy.
You know what else is crazy? The best and the worst. We've got some of the wildest and the wackiest plays from the world of sports, and it is coming up next. In just 5 short months, the days are going to start getting shorter again. Depressing, I know. But here's something to cheer you up. We've got bloopers and blunders from the world of sports, the highlights and the lowlights from the past 7 days. That's right, kids. It's time for the best and the worst. And we start off with the best golf shot of the week at the American Express Pro-Am, Hurtubise, par 3, 4th hole, 151 yards. He hit it exactly 151 yards in the cup for a hole-in-one. And oh, did I mention? He only has one arm. Born without a right arm, but he gets the ace. How'd you like this guy for a teammate? Slashes a guy on his team with his hockey stick. Ow! Step back three-pointer here, breaks the ankles of the defender. He goes sprawling, the guy calmly makes the shot. Emmanuel Mudiay of the Jazz steals the inbound pass, hits the three-pointer at the first quarter buzzer. DeAndre Jordan slams the ball. Oh, bounces it off his foot. He couldn't even do that right. He turned it over and couldn't even slam the ball down correctly. The goalie with a great save ends up doing a split, but keeps the puck out of the net. The NFL referee in today's game in the wrong place at the wrong time, and whammo, he goes down, gets run into, never saw it coming, and he doesn't have any pads on to protect him. Penalty shot in hockey, and oops, the guy forgot something. He missed the puck. It's kind of an important thing, but he whiffs on it, and the play is over. Hey, we hope we're not putting you to sleep. Zion Williamson falling asleep on the Pelicans bench, tired of not playing, I guess. 2 guys get ready to fight in hockey, and then one guy licks the other. I mean, literally licks him with his tongue. Great pass from hockey, goes between the defender's legs, and that led to the goal, a nice assist. A nice assist on the basketball court as well. Falling, but still gets the pass off, lost his balance, but alertly slaps the ball to his teammate for the bucket. This, however, was not a good assist. Bounces off his head. The pass was good, but the player never saw it coming. Doinks off his forehead. This was not a good pass either. Lonzo Ball airmails this thing into the stands. Unique three-pointer here. Kyle Lowry loses the handle, somehow still scores. He was falling backwards, two hands this thing, and it goes. And he was like, yeah, it's just how I planned it. In women's basketball, three-quarter court shot. Good. She let it fly to beat the buzzer, and it was perfect. This shot was pretty amazing. He kicks this thing in the basket. Are you kidding me? Over the corner of the backboard, and the ball drops straight through. Wow. Finally, these two on the kiss cam, and then he gets up, goes to the aisle, kneels down. How sweet. And then he ties his shoe. Oh my goodness! She was thinking it was a proposal, but he was just yanking her chain. I have to wonder how many broken bones he suffered later, because that is harsh. The worst fake proposal. That will do it for this edition of The Best and the Worst. They say he'll recover someday.
Yeah, I don't think he's walking out of there. Oh my goodness. We're almost out of time here on Real Sports Live, but we got a few more things we want to share with you. It's our parting shots, and it's coming up next. Says, all right, here's what I want to do, and they went, it's staged.
Yeah.
Okay.
She might have been in on it too, for all I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, parting shots brought to you by Doug Smith Auto Group.
Time now for parting shots, and Wes, since it's way too cold to play golf, and you've been absolutely miserable to be around lately, you can go first.
Not playing golf has nothing to do with how miserable I am. An interesting development has occurred in high school football. 4 teams have applied for and have been granted status to play as independents. Timpanogos, Cottonwood, Payson, and Judge Memorial will all play as independents next season. The logic is this: the numbers have been going down, and they've been getting beaten, and beaten badly in league play. Cottonwood was shut out in 9 games this season. Judge Memorial had to forfeit a game this year because it didn't have enough players and didn't want to risk more injuries. The hope is this: that by being an independent team, they can play smaller schools and hopefully keep the interest up among the players. They will not be eligible for region titles and cannot play in the playoffs for a state championship. Now, I can see merit in that if those teams can start winning again, maybe post a 7-3 or an 8-2 record. Maybe the young kids will come out and want to play football, and the programs can grow again. But I also see a downside. I'm not sure that not having a chance to play for a region or state title is going to motivate anyone to want to play football for that school. As an athlete, you want a chance to compete and win a state championship. So it will be interesting to see how it plays out this fall for the next, and for the next few years. Hopefully, it's an experiment that will have its desired results.
My parting shot is on the sign-stealing mess in Major League Baseball. There's been a ton of fallout since the scandal was first exposed. The Houston Astros fired their manager and general manager this week. The Boston Red Sox and New York Mets parted way with their managers. Stealing signs has been a part of baseball from the very beginning. If teams can pick up on a pitcher's tell or see for themselves the catcher signals, fine. There's nothing you can do about that. But when you use technology and the cameras behind the pitcher to pick up the signs and relay them to the hitter, whether through banging a bat or through whistles, that's cheating. And I'm glad Major League Baseball has come down hard on this. But now more suspicions have been evoked. Were the Astros wearing electronic buzzers to receive signals? They say no, but the fact that fans are suspicious of a cheating epidemic, well, that's just bad for baseball. I wish the players who cheated could be punished, but then you might be suspending entire teams. Look, this isn't as bad as the steroid abuse scandal of the 90s, but it is a bad look for baseball. And if they can't root it out entirely, fans should give baseball a sign of their own. And I think you know what finger they should put up or down, I guess. They got to do so. I'm glad.
Yeah, no,
it's cheating. You can't use cameras to do that.
Yeah.
You just
Utah
can't.
Jazz play Indiana Pacers tomorrow. Indiana's a good team.
They're good.
They beat the Jazz once before.
Yeah, the Utes are back home hosting Washington State, Washington. BYU on the road at Pacific in San Francisco.
Another busy week. We'll see you back here
next week.
next week.
Another busy week.